I just noted some inconsistencies in the lining of the bag around here. See this really dark bit here, and it comes up to this orange bit. That really shouldn't be there. It happened in the first bag, which is over here on this screen. And yeah, we're just going to take it over the barrier and have a crack, have a look at it.
Whose bag is this one? This one yours?
Yeah.
This one's yours.
Customs see a lot of people's dirty laundry. Searching bags is their business, in particular searching empty bags and looking for hidden compartments.
We've got these 2 bags here that we've just emptied out. We're not sure if perhaps there might be a concealment around the outside of the bags. They do feel heavier than I would expect, so we'll have a look a bit further.
The Australian customs vessel Dame Roma Mitchell is on patrol off Broome.
Yeah, it looks like we've got something off to the starboard bow over here. I'd say it looks like an Indonesian marker buoy, so we might proceed over and have a look at it.
Illegal shark fishing in the northwestern waters of Australia is widespread. While the boats are small and can only harvest a few sharks at a time, if boats come in large numbers, they can seriously deplete the fish stocks.
Yeah, that's very strong evidence to suggest that they're down fishing in this area. These banks around this area, they're well known for a lot of shark, so they're targeting these and taking back to Indonesia and getting a very high price for the product.
With a good chance that the illegal vessel may still be in the area, Craig and his crew have to act fast to retrieve the float.
Well, there's not much doubt it's Indonesian. It's consistent with the lines they use, the bamboo pole, the colour flag is all consistent with Indonesian vessels in our waters.
That buoy will be the marker for their long line. A lot of these guys don't have radar technology to pick it up, so this will be a flag buoy, and they can see that in the distance, or sometimes they'll put the flag buoy out at one end of it and they'll tie the long line off the bow of their boat and they'll sit there overnight and then haul it in the morning.
The Indonesian fishing boats won't be far away, so now customs will begin their pursuit. At Sydney Airport, Jeff and his team begin a search of bags belonging to 2 women. Now their suspicions are aroused and they are giving the luggage a much closer inspection.
It doesn't feel any different to me, but yeah, it's just like that.
Oh, we'd prefer to keep it intact if we can. Just go.
There's a zip, there's no actual... Can you see that?
Examining bags can be tricky. Officers are acting on a hunch that something is there, but they have to work carefully to preserve potential evidence.
There's no actual...
The only thing to do is cut it. Yeah. If you want to take it in the tool room or something, I don't know. Just... Well, you could even do it. Anybody got a knife? We'll just make a small incision behind the...
We're going to run the dog first.
Customs drug detector dogs have a nose hundreds of times more sensitive than humans. And if there are drugs in these bags, the dogs will react.
There's definitely something in there. We need to find out what it is. We're going to let Marty run the dogs on it, and then if he gets any sort of reaction, then we'll crack it open.
Good. 13 degrees.
Off the coast of Broome, Customs are pulling the shark float and lines aboard.
We had one Type 3 shark boat style, colours timber, on oil.
A Customs Coast Watch plane has just reported that they have spotted another fishing vessel nearby.
Roger, copy that. We have visual now. We'll go in and intercept him, over.
Yeah, I'd say we're seeing his stern now. Yeah, all crew, be advised, we have an FFV visual on the horizon. It's heading away from us, so we've got a bit of a chase, but anticipate an interception in about 15 minutes' time.
Thousands of bags are checked by quarantine at airports around the country. Today in Sydney, quarantine officers have found something on the X-ray which has caught their attention.
It's because it's dark in colour and the unusual shape indicating it might be meat product or plant products. Yeah.
Do you have any food in this bag?
No.
No food?
No, just tea. Just tea.
Yeah. Tea? And what do you have in this bag apart from tea?
That is...
Okay, open the bag for me, please.
Officers check all suspect images on the X-ray because quite often what seems harmless can turn out to be a serious high-risk item.
What is in here? What is it?
Over in customs, officers have been examining bags belonging to two women who arrived a few hours ago with a young child. And now a drug detector dog scratching at the bag means a positive reaction.
I spoke to the guys from the dog unit and they were very happy with the dog's reaction, particularly to the green bag. So what we're going to do, take the bag into our tool room and we'll somehow either try and open the lining or make an incision and see if we can find something concealed. I believe they don't speak too much English, so their reaction may just be that they don't really understand what's going on, as opposed to being nonchalant about it.
Customs uses many tools as indicators for narcotics or dangerous materials. Now the officers want to use the itemiser. The itemiser is negative, but Jeff is still suspicious.
Initially I wasn't so sure, but with the X-ray image combined with the dog reaction, it looks pretty good so far, so all that's left is just to be sure about it. Remains to be seen if there's something concealed.
Officers have discovered potentially dangerous items in the bags of this passenger returning from Mauritius.
What is it?
It's flowers.
Tell me what it is.
Flowers just to plant.
What are you going to do with it?
Just to put in the pocket.
Okay. Question number 9. Soiled articles. This is soiled articles. It's also a plant. It is a fresh living plant. Tell me what type of plant it is. What is it? And where did you pick it up?
That is from Mauritius. Just, I forgot the name, but just a plant.
Due to our strict quarantine laws, Australia is free of many animal and plant diseases prevalent in other countries. Therefore, if a passenger is found concealing either of these products, it is taken very seriously.
Why didn't you declare it?
An Australian customs vessel off the coast of Broome has now caught up to an Indonesian fishing boat.
Can your other crew go forward for me, please? Captain, send crew. Everyone forward.
What they're doing now, they're getting all the guys up forward so they can have everything nice and secure for their own personal safety when they get on board.
With the price of shark fin on the rise, these fishermen think the gamble of getting caught is worth the risk.
It's not subsistence fishing, this type of fishing. It's actually a big commercial venture.
Officers round up the fishermen and prepare them and their vessel to be passed over to another patrol boat.
It looks like we got in nice and early because we've saved the sharks this time. They haven't actually pulled the catch in yet, so we'll go back and get those lines in before they start doing any damage.
And now word comes through from a Coast Watch plane that there are more boats in the area.
They've located 2 targets, the closest of which is approximately 9 miles from our position.
Back at quarantine, bringing any sort of foreign plant life into Australia is prohibited, and as this passenger is about to find out, this offence has a high penalty.
Basically, we have found it today, and you have concealed a living plant in your luggage from Mauritius.
I did know that. I think that.
The risk is that it may not be a species that we actually grow here. It's got soil through it. Yeah, it's very dangerous to bring this into Australia. And it wasn't declared also. We can actually prosecute you for bringing something through Sydney Airport that's a living plant.
Meanwhile, over at Customs, 2 ladies are waiting while officers examine their bags. Their sniffer dogs have given a positive reaction, but other indicators have been negative. The officers have decided to continue the search.
So this lady's finished, ready to go, but they're her 2 bags. Where are her goods in the boxes?
Yeah. She got a bag off a friend, she said.
So the bag doesn't belong to her?
Yeah, but the bag's hers. But she said, we got Eric to translate. So, where did you get the bags? She said a friend gave them to her.
In Vietnam?
In Vietnam.
just going to take another swab with the atomizer. See if we can get some sort of reading or not.
Oh well, that's interesting. No alarm on that one, no.
There's indications from the X-ray that there may be something concealed in the bag. Some of the detected dogs did show interest.
So it's back to the X-ray.
If you have a look there though, it looks to me, you could almost say that there's a packet and then a packet like that. So
I bet my left arm that there is narcotics in that bag. They've taken the support out and stuffed something in there. It looks like what they've done is just taken the whole lining out of the edge of the bag there and just stuffed it full of whatever they've wanted to put in there, which is some sort of powder by the look of the way it's come up on the X-ray there. Yeah, definitely there and definitely not supposed to be there.
Right, what we're doing now is just taking the passengers into a private room. What we'll do is most likely frisk search the passengers and we'll try and examine these pieces of baggage.
In Sydney Customs, a bag search has been escalated to a new level for these two passengers.
Really, really calm, really, yeah, not anxious at all. Very silent, like not saying anything, not spilling the guts or anything, but she's just sitting back and, the kid's quiet. You've got to feel sorry for the kid, don't you?
Looking at the X-ray, we're not very happy with the bag, and we're going to take it into the room, and we'll make a small incision, and we'll just have a closer look.
And officers seem to have found something in one of the bags.
Yeah, they've unwrapped a foil type of like something wrapped in foil.
What we did was made an incision in that packet in order to swab and do a nick test.
Yeah.
When I put the gimlet inside the packet, there was a strong smell of coffee, and what we came out with what appeared to be coffee.
The discovery of coffee could indicate an attempt to conceal narcotics, but the odour of coffee won't fool customs.
But the coffee could be sitting on top of something else.
Or maybe officers have got it wrong and the ladies are innocent tourists. An Australian customs vessel on patrol in the northwestern waters of Australia has apprehended a second illegal shark fishing boat well within the Australian fishing zone.
He's currently about 182 nautical miles inside the Australian fishing zone, and it's a fair bet he's not lost and he knows exactly where he is.
There is no excuse for this Indonesian skipper and his crew.
This guy's been here a while. He's been here about 4 or 5 hours that we know of, and where his anchor line's leading down to the water, generally they will connect the long lines to that too. So if we get him to pull that up, I presume we're going to find some shark on this boat.
It's a dangerous part of the operation now. If there happens to be a live shark on the line, they've really got to pay attention to make sure that nothing goes wrong.
The skipper will do almost anything to save his catch from customs. Stowing shark fin around toilets and in the bilge is not uncommon.
Leon, this only been cut off a couple of hours ago, mate. Still basically bleeding.
Back at quarantine, Claire consults her supervisor.
Just found some fresh plant material, not declared.
What did you want to do with this?
Just I planted a lot of flowers.
Okay, why didn't you declare this?
I don't know, I just put things. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read.
Question number 7, plants.
We are going to give you a fine for this. The fine is going to be $220. You are lucky that we are just giving you a fine. The problem is we can't identify what the plant is, but looking at the plant, it's got soil attached to the root, and that means it could have a lot of fungal diseases, nematodes, which are mainly things like worms, which could cause root rot, and it could also introduce sort of new viruses into Australia, which we don't have here. This is a very serious offense, okay? Because, like I said, you just can't...
So that and my son placed that nice flowers. I said, oh, I take 2 pieces. I did.
But if you did bring it in, you did not declare it. So that means you try to conceal it, okay? You are going to show it to us.
Australia has one of the most disease-free horticultural industries in the world. Any outbreak of disease would be disastrous for the Australian economy, causing the loss of billions of dollars. The passenger received a fine of $220 for not declaring a prohibited item. The plant cutting was confiscated and destroyed. Customs, the itomiser test is still giving a negative result.
No.
Then, finally, officers get the break they've been hoping for.
These 2 lots of plastic. Powder on the inside, coffee around the outside. There is white powder. We've popped it in the general nick test kit, and it's come up the yellow colour as printed on the front.
Positive.
White powder
Yes.
underneath.
Okay. Get an iron track of the powder.
Yep.
They've just found the 2. You know how you
All right.
you're going to test
The
it?
other lady's got a condom in her bag, so
Armed with this evidence, officers think the ladies may also have drugs in their bodies, as well as their bags. And so they now want to send them to a hospital for an internal scan.
and because she's travelling with the other lady, we can't discount the fact that she may be internal. Send both, yeah. If one's going to load up, the other one probably will too. Cover all bases. Yeah.
In our northwestern waters, Customs has caught another Indonesian fishing boat red-handed.
Yeah, this is the catch we've found on board this vessel. This is a shark fin. It's been cut from the body of the shark. The rest of the shark's been thrown over the side. They'll rip the fin off with one of their knives, hack the fin off, keep the fin, the rest of the shark will go over the side. Got this bag. This bag's full of fins, approximately 5 kilo. It's off a reasonably large shark. This is the reason they come down here. This is the economic pay dirt. They want to catch shark, make dollars, and Australia's the best place to do it. It's just open slather. They take what they can, when they can, and as often as they can.
As the fishermen continue to pull their long lines in, Craig has received permission to detain the vessel and take them into Broome.
Yeah, the Indonesian fishermen now are going to come on board. It's for their own safety. We'll bring them up on board the boat, put them in our detention area. They'll be fed and looked after for the night, and we'll take their boat under tow. It's much safer having them on board here during the night in case something goes wrong with their boat.
As the crew gather evidence against the fishermen, it becomes apparent how significant are the sheer numbers of illegal fishing boats.
Tuesday, I start in Island Rote. Maybe 7 boats.
7 boats from Roti?
Yeah.
Okay.
The search for more vessels continues. Customs handed the Yumbri and its crew over to the Navy the next morning. Both captains were charged with using a foreign boat for fishing in the Australian fishing zone. The captain of the Yumbri received fines of $5,400, but instead served 36 days imprisonment. The captain of the Elsiday was fined $4,200, but instead served 28 days imprisonment.
Have you tested the white stuff?
They've done the general narco test kit and it's positive.
Oh, excellent.
Customs officers have been taken to the brink, but after a number of hours, they finally have the evidence they need. The bags were loaded.
The tests have come back positive for heroin in the bag. Our concerns are also that they may be concealing internally. What we're doing now is calling the federal police to get them to come down, particularly with the lady that's got the heroin in the bag. They'll take her away and they'll have a chat to the other lady and make a determination whether they'll take her to hospital as well. Yeah, Marcus Burney from Customs, how you going? Got a couple of passengers down here for you, mate. One of them has just come back positive. She's got heroin in her bag. And another one we've got here, or we want to detain them both for internal searches as well. We've had them here for a couple of hours. It's taken a couple of hours to get into her bag and actually confirm that it's narcotics, but we've just confirmed it now that it's heroin. Looking at the X-ray, it'd be a major concealment. You know, it'd be possibly a kilo or something there. There's 2 bags loaded too, so yeah, it is a fairly significant seizure. Yeah.
Well, the woman stated to us that she was given the bag in Vietnam by a friend of hers, given the empty bag, and she put her own belongings inside. She claims that she didn't know that there was anything concealed inside.
The federal police, I'd imagine, will arrest the lady with the heroin in her bags. She'll also be taken for an internal search, and depending on the outcome of the internal search of the other passenger, We'll determine what the federal police do with her.
There was no evidence against one of the women or the child. When the suitcase was deconstructed, officers discovered that Lan Mai had concealed heroin in the lining. A layer of coffee was placed on top in an unsuccessful attempt to try and hide the odour of the drugs. Incredibly, an ultrasound also revealed condoms of heroin were inserted in her vaginal and anal passages. She was convicted of importing a total of 1.2 kilos of heroin worth $750,000.